The fall rains will be happening pretty soon. Some of them happening already up in the northern parts of the country. We're beginning to have a little rain here in the south. There's certainly not much here at our ranch, but there's been quite a bit of rain happening around, and it muddies up the water. What should we do around muddy water? What should we be looking for and trying to search out in muddy water that'll help us catch some fish pretty doggone quickly? Good morning, guys and girls. September 9. Good morning. September 9. Looking at book John, the book in the Bible, the book of John, John 6:9, and Catch a Better Life book. If you're not subscribed to the Catch a Better Life channel, please subscribe to it right now. If you want your own copy of this book, you can get it at Jimmy Houston Outdoors. You can get it at Barnes & Noble, Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's, Hobby Lobby, just about anywhere books are sold. John 6:9 said, "There is a lad here who has 5 barley loaves and 2 little fish. But what are they among so many?" I love this story. I love this story. I love this story. You know, people talk about who they want to meet when they get to heaven. I want to meet this little boy because I have fished where this happened, where this very event happened. I've actually fished there on the Sea of Galilee, a freshwater lake, Lake Gennesaret, a giant lake like our Great Lakes here in America. And it's really hard to catch fish there. It's really hard to catch fish there. Yet this boy had 2 small fish. Since the advent of the Garmin Live Scope, fishermen have begun targeting larger and larger fish. It turns out that larger bass usually are alone. They're not in a school generally, maybe 2 of them there or 3. They're quite often suspended out in open water or above brush or logs or something like that. And if they're around schools of shad, they're above the schools of shad during those colder months and not down below them like what we thought. They're down below them. They go up and feed on the shad. They're usually up above the shad. They spook easily. We get around them, they can spook easily because they're in open water. And this is the amazing thing. They quite often run for our baits. That's right. We can see our bait coming. We can see the fish, and sometimes they take off. They go straight down. I mean, you might be in 50 foot of water, and they're in 10 foot of water, and they just go straight down. It's crazy. We've learned a lot of things. I could talk forever about the things we've learned with the Garmin Live Scope, but we've learned a lot about big fish in particular, and we've learned a lot about crappie and muskie, catfish, about everything with that Live Scope. Today's scripture, however, is about Jesus performing a miracle of feeding over 5,000 men with one boy's lunch. Over 5,000 men, not counting women and children, 5,000 men with one little boy's lunch, 2 fish, and 5 barley loaves of bread. 5 loaves of bread, 2 fish. That totals 7, by the way, which is a perfect number in the Bible. It's interesting that the fish weren't big like the ones we scope out nowadays. They were most likely tilapia, which is a fish that you got to have a little bitty tiny jig of some sort to catch them. They're pretty hard to catch. They mostly catch them in nets over there on Lake Gennesaret or the Sea of Galilee. Also, it appears that the boy gave Jesus the fish without any argument. It appears he didn't say, "Hey, this is my lunch. This is my lunch. What are you doing with my lunch?" It appears in this story, we don't know that for a fact, but it appears in this story that he didn't argue about it. This could be actually the childlike faith that you must have to come like Jesus. He had childlike faith in Jesus. Didn't know what he's getting ready to do, but he had faith enough to give him his lunch. I like to think personally that he caught those fish himself. I like to think that with a little stick and a pole and a string or something, he caught those fish himself. I don't know. Maybe a little hook that he made out of a fishbone or something. I don't know. This young fisherman just didn't share his catch. He gave it all. That's the key point that I want to point out in today's scripture. He didn't just share his catch. He gave all of his catch. He gave everything he had, plus he gave away his bread. His 5 little loaves of bread. I don't think those are big jumbo loaves that you buy at the supermarket. I think it's just little loaves of bread. He gave away all his bread. Here's what we need to do. We need to give Jesus our all today. When we do that, we need to get ready for a miracle. Our all might not feed 5,000 people. It might feed 5 million. It might feed 5 million. Here's our tip for today. Search for murky or muddy water that is clearing. That's right. You want to search for murky water or muddy water that's getting clear. Not that's getting muddier, but that's getting clear. The water that's getting clear will draw those fish into it. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. And remember, subscribe to Catch a Better Life channel on YouTube, and I sure do love you.